My thoughts about the pandemic right now, it's a little bit sad to me that basically our young people are having to deal with this pandemic. They're losing a lot of their childhood. They can't really go to school properly, and if they are going to school, they're fearful about getting sick and making others sick. So, I think this pandemic is a hard crisis for us, and I think that it was something that was done intentionally, not intentionally per se um, to hurt, but I think they're using people sort of as a petri dish. I really feel that COVID was manufactured and it got out of hand, and so now we have this issue, this problem, this epidemic. Um, well, for me personally, it affected school for me. I'm a medical student, and I was studying at a school, and now everything is online. And for medicine, to me, I think that's, you're studying medicine, I think that's pretty hard. And I'm sure that it's hard in other arenas as well, but it's affected me, and it's kind of put a stalemate. Even though I'm going to school online um, for this education, I think that because of what's going on with COVID, it is causing interruption in a way. Um, I do believe that Black Lives Matter. Obviously, I'm black, and I'm 56 years old. So there's some things I've seen for many years that my parents have went through that I've gone through personally. So I have, some serious thoughts about that. But I am someone that love all people, and this is just who I am. And I know that many people have suffered, not just black people, but I do believe that, yeah, our lives do matter. And at this point, there's so many things that are happening, and where we might need a certain kind of protection. But I do think that all lives do matter, but my black life, I believe, matters as well, especially now with what's going on with shootings and killings. And I believe that Black Lives Matter works for even black on black crime. Our lives matter, and that's how I feel about that. I don't think that white people are trying to just hurt black people. I think that there are certain people um, that are bad, and they make it bad for the majority of the world. I would hope that it would be a better way. I think peaceful ways to do things are always, to me, the best way to do it. But history has shown that folk don't listen until things get torn down or burnt down. You know, Before that happens, people are marching peacefully. People are, asking kindly, but things just continue to be the way they are. I don't agree with that kind of thing, because I don't believe you should tear up anything. I don't believe in that. But sometimes you have to go by any means necessary. Sometimes you have to do drastic things to get the attention of others. And that being said, like I said, I don't particularly personally agree to it, but as history serves us, we can see that people don't listen and people don't move until something's popping off. And so that's the way, that's my opinion on it. I think the riots, well, when they're happening in the neighborhoods that actually serve the people, I think that it's detrimental to them. If you were burning down and tearing up stuff where you live, then obviously the people that are trying to do well and to make a life for themselves, um, obviously you're going to suffer some and they're going to suffer. But let's think about history where black communities thrived, and those who did not like it, they came into those communities and burnt whole communities down. So that's the example that people have. And unfortunately, the local people that work hard to build businesses and to build things, unfortunately, they suffer. And I hate that.
So I am a small business owner. The name of my business is Divine Butterfly Supply. I It's a beauty supply store. I supply beauty products for kids, women, men of the Lawrence County. it really put the fear in everyone, and not in the whole nation. It caused businesses. It caused the government to have businesses to shut down. Every in every way that everybody thought that we were so secure, they don't feel like that anymore. Like, you got parents that are locking themselves in their house, businesses shut down and can't come back from it. Money is there, but it's like you can't really get to it. It doesn't make any sense. In the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared because, you know, when COVID-19 first came out, it was different. It wasn't like Ebola and anthrax, and it wasn't like cancer or AIDS, you know. It was like no one knew what this thing exactly was. Like, we've seen it, you know, everybody was pulling out the Lysol bottles and looking in the back of it and say, oh yeah, coronavirus, you know, but we never really witnessed it, you know. We seen the effects, you know, of different flus, swine flu, you know, and how cancer can actually affect people, but no one actually really saw what coronavirus was capable of doing. You know, people never really actually seen it affect the whole nation, you know? And I think that's what really is a little bit different than all of the other pandemics that has happened, because this is not the only pandemic that has happened. Like, we've been through a lot, you know. The Black Lives Matter movement been out for decades, okay. I think that's from slavery to Black Panthers, and now they're calling it the Black Lives Matter movement. So the difference with what was going on then and the way that they're actually presenting the Black Lives movement now, back then, and I'm not saying like now we don't have anything to be fighting for. Now in 2020, you have more Black businesses, you know, more diverse culture, you know, in the community and whatnot. And I feel like since COVID-19 has been out now, the Black Lives Matter movement, I feel like the younger kids might have messed it up in a way for the real Black Lives Matter movement. Like, we were actually fighting for our freedom and peace and to be recognized, and not only about police brutality. Now they think that nowadays for this 2020 they're doing, you know, Black Lives Matter movement based on like police brutality. It's not only that. Like, everyone's really fighting for their life. It depends. So I was born and I was raised in Brooklyn, New York. And I now live in Lawrence County. So when I look at the Black Lives Matter movement in Brooklyn, it's a little bit different. People are they're destroying their own community in Brooklyn, New York. And I'm only saying Brooklyn, New York, because that's what I know. That's where I was born. That's where I was raised. I still got family out there. And I see it. But when you come out here in Lawrence County, by the grace of God, I still have my business is still open. You know, my doors are still able to be opened up. And I'm not, you know, being ignorant or anything like that. It's just the mindset of the person. Everybody thinks that with this Black Lives Matter movement, you're supposed to be angry. And it's not like that. You're supposed to come as one together and fight for equality and peace. But in other places, they're not doing that. They're destroying, they're fighting each other. They're giving these, you know, racist cops and racist community members a reason to talk bad about the Black community. And when I say, in my opinion, Black community, I mean the Spanish, the Caribbeans, the Asians. You know, like I felt, in my opinion, that that's what the real Black Lives Matter movement should have been about. Not only about slavery,